I am very happy. We just got a brand new trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and I am very happy because it looks phenomenal. In this video, I am going to be sharing with you guys not only my general impressions and reactions to everything from the trailer, but I'm also going to be getting into 10 key details that you may have not noticed or just generally really need to know that was revealed in the trailer as well as on the official Pokemon Scarlet and Violet website. There's a lot of really interesting details that were very small within the trailer that really just make this all the more exciting, and I'm really excited to get into them. In terms of what I actually thought of this trailer, my own personal impressions and opinions, like I said, there was nothing here that I didn't think was fantastic. It just all looks so good. And what particularly has me just like kind of over the moon is how just amazing the designs of everything are. Like, the character designs are great, but in particular, the Pokemon designs are just incredible. Obviously, like, we got a few of, like, the early-ish route type of Pokemon. Lechonk is a thing. Like, Lechonk is gonna be a meme. I love that. I love literally all the Pokemon they showed. The designs look so good, and I kind of feel like I say this every generation, but I feel like I really mean it when I say that based on the new Pokemon we got here, I really feel like this generation's new Pokemon could be the best we've ever seen in terms of design, because they just all look so good. I would just say that like every one of them is like an S tier design almost. Like literally, I think they all look that good. I also want to say I really appreciate the mini names that not only Lechonk got, but also Smoliv, our new, I guess, like, plant-based Pokemon, like an Oddish or whatever of the region. Smoliv, I love that name. I love Lechonk. I also love Palmy, which is going to be the Pikachu clone. It looks so unique and interesting. I just love the designs. I love everything we saw. I am just so hyped if you can't tell. But with that being said, I want to get into these key details, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first one I want to mention is concerning the legendaries and also the overall theme of these games and what it's going to be, because it is definitely going to be, like, confirmed at this point, a past versus future theme between Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is phenomenally cool and has so much potential. And the reason why we know this is because if we look at the two legendaries, which are known as Koraidon and Miraidon, both of which look phenomenal, by the way, and I think they just look amazing. But you can clearly tell one is very much futuristic and one definitely has more of a tribal type of feel representing the past. So we've got a very heavy past versus future theme there. If we also look at the professors, of which, by the way, version exclusive, which is a brand new thing that we've never seen, version exclusive professors, that's awesome. They absolutely have a past and future design, with Professor Seda kind of being dressed like a cave woman, so she's representing the past with Scarlet, and then Professor Turo has like a super futuristic design representing the future. So there is definitely that theme going on here. Like I said, has all the potential in the world, and it also brings in the possibility of time travel, obviously, which can just go in a million different insanely cool directions. It's unbelievably exciting. The legendaries, in addition, also seem to confirm a typing leak that has been put out there by the very well-known, credible leaker on Twitter known as Riddler Coup. It's been speculated that he was leaking that the legendaries were going to be dragon fighting and dragon electric type, respectively, and just looking at these guys, we can obviously say they're both dragon type. Miraidon is obviously also electric type, and it's obvious, or it's very apparent that Koraidon could obviously be part fighting type as well. So that seems to be the dynamic and the typings for these Pokemon, even though they haven't been officially confirmed yet. And it seems like that leak has been confirmed to be true, which is also very interesting. The third point I want to bring up is that on the Scarlet and Violet website, it states that you can explore the game and the world in an order that isn't dictated by the story. Obviously, this game is open world, but it goes out of its way to say that you can explore in an order not dictated by the story. And it kind of leaves it at that, which is a pretty open statement that's exciting on its own, but it also seems to specifically be referring to gyms, because in terms of the story, the gyms are really the major thing that we've always had to do in a sequential order. So if it's saying in an order not dictated by the story, that personally says to me that it's going to be the gyms specifically that we will not have to worry about, as well as other certain things too, but probably primarily the gyms we will be able to do in any order. And that is something that I have just been wanting for so long in Pokemon. I've talked about it several times in videos just because it would add such a beautiful element to the game where every person can have their own adventure. There's so much replayability, being able to play the game in different ways and in different orders, and it seems like we finally have got that in a game, and I am so beyond excited for it. The fourth thing I want to mention, and it's one of those details that it's like you could miss it really easily, but it could potentially be something really, really cool, is that there is a youngster NPC that is battled briefly in the trailer, and they have a shirt that has the head of a Tauros, which is obviously interesting. Tauros is a bull Pokemon. We're in Spain. Spain likes their bulls, but it also looks really interesting. It's a really interesting Tauros design. It's obviously just a t-shirt, but it kind of seems like this could be depicting a regional variant or possibly even an evolution of Tauros. It very much has that kind of vibe to it. It seems like it's giving off like dark type vibes or possibly steel type vibes or something like that. And obviously it's not surprising at all to think that we could get something related to Tauros in terms of an evolution or new form. So this t-shirt design could potentially be depicting just that. Our fifth thing I want to talk about, which is possibly one of the most interesting things on this entire list, and certainly the most intriguing, is at the very end of the trailer, even after they showed the legendaries and showed off the box art and release date, they showed this mysterious teaser of a Pokeball just kind of like flying through the air. It wasn't actual gameplay or anything like that, but it was just a very mysterious Pokeball that had this. They gave it this very important aura and look, and it kind of just flew through the air, and that was it. And obviously, that is a tease at something big. And it's a tease at some kind of Pokemon, clearly, that is inside that Pokeball. And it's obviously not going to be the legendaries. We just saw them. So what Pokemon could this be that they would be teasing? There's really a million different Pokemon it could be. It could be a mythical, it could be just any kind of thing, but I don't know if I'm just on the Eevee evolution hype train here, but I kind of get the feeling that like of any Pokemon it could be, what Pokemon would they tease in this way? And Eeveelution is the kind of Pokemon they would tease in this way. There's like nothing connecting this to Eevee other than just the feeling I have, but like I said, this is the type, like, an Eeveelution is the type of Pokemon they would tease in this way. And I made a video a while back speculating about how there's some legitimate reason to believe that we could get a new Eeveelution. And while this doesn't really have any direct connection to Eevee, there's something going on here, and it's going to be super, super exciting to keep an eye on and see what it ultimately is, regardless of whether it's an Eeveelution or not. Number 6 on our list. Going back to the professors, it's very interesting to note that on the Scarlet and Violet website, it states that the professors are studying lore of the region. And the reason why that sounds so exciting to me and is interesting, because the professors are always studying some kind of science-related thing normally, like the habitats of Pokemon, or the just general like things related to Pokemon, like physiology or their habitats or evolution or things like that. I don't believe we've ever necessarily had a professor that has studied lore specifically. Obviously we had a lot of lore in the Sinnoh games, but Professor Rowan studied evolution, Pokemon evolution, I believe, whereas Cynthia was the myth and legends person. So the professor studying lore, at the very least, is really, really exciting. It could potentially mean that we're going to have more of a story-focused game with just more focus on lore in general, or it could just mean we have more lore to go through for the Pokemon in general, not necessarily being like tied to the main story that we're going to go through. Either way, the fact that they're making a focus on lore by tying it to the professor, which is obviously a super important character, has me really excited, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing what that is about. The next thing on our list, I believe we're on number 7, is the character of Nemona. Nemona seems to be the rival character in this game, and if she is in fact the rival, it's worth noting that she is going to be the first, what apparently seems to be the first solo female rival, because we had female rivals in the past, but we haven't had one that's been like their own dedicated character, meaning just not like the opposite player character that you didn't choose that's being used as your rival. And we've also never had one that's just on their own. We've had like someone like May, who's just the opposite the player character that's being repurposed as the rival in those games, or a rival, I should say. And then you've got characters like Shauna, who is obviously she's a rival. She is a female character, but she's a part of a whole group of rivals. If Nemona is indeed the rival, and she's the only rival, which it seems like it is because she's being kind of shown on her own, she would be the first solo female rival, which would be really cool and interesting. However, what's even more interesting is that in both her artwork and in the gameplay itself, she has got a very mysterious device that is on her arm and her hand, and it is definitely 100% going to be connected to the new mechanic of these games that has to do with that mysterious stone that is in the Japanese logos, because the new mechanics of every generation, whether it's Mega, Z-Moves, or Gigantamax, Dynamaxing, is always connected to some kind of arm wear or wrist wear that the player character will be able to wear, and this is exactly consistent with that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that will ultimately entail. This specific device looks really interesting, so I'm excited to see what it ultimately is going to become, and so we're definitely going to want to keep an eye out for that. And the final thing I want to mention about Nemona is that compared to the player character, she also looks significantly older, which could mean that she maybe is going to be maybe sort of a mentor, or is just going to have kind of that edge on you to where she's actually like significantly more powerful or stronger than you because she's like a few years older. I also like that element of it as well. So I'm excited for her as a potential rival character. Getting on to our 8th point has to do with another mysterious kind of a device or fashion statement, if you will, and that is in a couple of shots in the trailer, there is a mysterious shoe that is being displayed and advertised on the Pokemon Center buildings, which themselves look really mobilized and different and interesting. But yeah, displayed as like an advertisement on these Pokemon Center buildings is a mysterious, it's literally like a sandal, like a shoe that's being displayed alongside a picture of a Wingull, and we see it a couple times in the trailer, so it seems to be like, it could very well just be a generic type of advertisement that's just there for the decor of the world, but the fact that we see it twice in the trailer, and it's like, why would you advertise a sandal of all things if this is just decor, makes me wonder if this is actually some type of item that we're going to be using in the game for like travel or something like that, or maybe it's just advertising player customization as well, which is a possibility, and that was also a thing that was confirmed via the multiplayer section. And oh, by the way, bonus, there's multiplayer in this game. They confirmed that on the website, and they did show it in the trailer, but confirmed by specifically like saying it on the website that multiplayer is going to be a thing to where you'll be able to connect seemingly online with your friends and literally just explore together, which is phenomenal. And then that also confirmed the player customization by us seeing the differently customized players. And so this shoe could be towards that. It could be towards something else that maybe has some kind of like item functionality or mechanic or something like that. Either way, super, super exciting. Also going along with the multiplayer section is the potential that following Pokemon has just been confirmed. It's something in the multiplayer section of the trailer that we absolutely see, because we see the player character have a Sprigatito out right next to them outside of their Pokeball and is walking alongside them. That is like literally following Pokemon right there. What we don't know, however, is if this is just gonna be within the multiplayer section or if it's a sign that it will be in the larger game. We also see the other player characters have their Pokemon out as well, so I think that pretty much does confirm following Pokemon, at least like in the multiplayer section, but it's yet to be seen if it would be outside the multiplayer section. I mean, I guess technically it could just be for this like cutscene where you begin your multiplayer adventure, but I feel like this is in fact confirming that following Pokemon is going to be a thing, at least for this specific game mode. However, I would be surprised if they did in fact put it in this game mode and didn't make it a part of the whole game. So following Pokemon seems like it's going to definitely be a thing in at least some capacity, and possibly a thing in the entire game at large, which once again is another home run for this game, and we're only on the second trailer. Like, everything about this game is looking beautiful. And for my final key detail that you need to know about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that came from this brand new trailer is something about the gyms, or whatever is going to be like the equivalent to gyms in these games. Because towards the end of the trailer, we see 3 different arena type places that are definitely the gym type of places, like either gyms or the gym equivalent. And the reason why I say gym equivalent is because while you can definitely tell that these are gym-like areas where you're going to be battling bosses and like moving throughout the game that way, they also don't feel like gyms either. These arenas seem to very much have their own flair at the same time. All of them seem to be outdoors as well, so it's more like an actual sort of like a battlefield than an actual indoor gym. So I'm interested to see if they are gyms or if they are actually going to be something different. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. And nevertheless, they seem to hold the fire, grass, and ground types, which is also interesting in terms of the roster of types that we'll have to deal with for these gym-like areas. But yeah, given their unique feel, it's going to be interesting to see whether these are actually, in fact, gyms at all. And with that being said, those are 10 key details that you could have very possibly missed, but definitely need to know from this new trailer. And all of those are immensely exciting. I cannot wait to find out more about all of this stuff, and I just have loved everything I saw from this trailer. I am so hyped. If you guys are as well, be sure to let me know all your thoughts about the trailer in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and my goodness guys, I am so excited. Everything was just absolutely beautiful in this trailer. I love the designs of the Pokemon. They all look so unique and interesting. I will be back with more tomorrow, as what for another video on this stuff. So once again, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more. And obviously, I'll be back with more content in the days and weeks to come on all of this stuff. So be sure to stay tuned. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching this one. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. And until the next one, I will smell you guys later.